Hello, everybody. Welcome to my daily pop. I have to share this with you because I got in a really great mood. I was meditating, relaxed, in a great state. And what happens? I come out here to get my viewing screen on, but the fellas had messed with the system because they were watching some DVDs or something. So I couldn't get my backdrop to come on. So I was getting all frustrated. And then I remembered something that I was speaking on earlier, to take our time and not feel like we're in a rush with anything. As soon as I decide that, honest to goodness, as soon as I say, I'm not going to be hurried, I'm not going to be rushed, I'm not going to be fixated on any plan, my day starts to commence really chill. And that's why I love this particular card, a higher view. Now, this card speaks to my soul because that's saying we are not pecking around in the dirt with the turkeys, looking for leftovers, looking for what somebody dropped, but we're flying up from a higher perspective, like over the kind of like matrix thinking, right? Like, why do I want to do something? Right now, I feel like I'm really noticing why I want to do something. What is the motivating factor behind it? And then I can find out my intentionality, because that's a higher view. Why do I intend for this to happen? What do I hope is going to take place with this? What am I seeking? And then if it's something that's worthy of me, my time, my resources, I commence. If not, I simply let it go. Because I feel like any derivative of stress or pushing comes from lack mentality, right? I don't have enough time. I don't have enough money. You ever go out and you're all excited to buy something, and then you see a few impulse buys? It could be anything. It could be birthday cards. It could be crystals. It could be something while you're waiting in a line, and you just grab it. And then later you notice, whether in your bank account, PayPal or whatever, that you're now in deficit for something else that you want that comes up. And then you are kind of like emotionally beating yourself up, like, why am I so impulsive? Why would I spend on that? But that's the thing about adrenaline and endorphins. And oftentimes when we are out and we're making purchases, it's not the purchase itself. It was what we're going to do with that new shirt we bought. It's going to be that party we are going to attend, and it is going to be on that walk, that exercise regime. That's why I got those workout pants, all of that, right? These things that we buy are intended to fulfill something, right? That's why I never feel like I waste a single cent on any of my decks, because the books always give me beautiful new insights. The cards, the artwork is so warming and lovely, and every single one has a different kind of personality and effect on me and my channeling. And I was just saying this to one of my friends when I did a read for her this morning. My eye zoomed right into a particular deck for them, and it worked perfectly for them. It seemed to suit. The cards were magic, all of that. And that's sort of where this comes into, opening to discovery. Whenever we're flexible and we're open to discover new things about ourselves, maybe how we utilize time wisely or inefficiently on certain days, that's our cycle. This is really us paying attention after this new moon, how to develop our strength within our natural cycles. Like I've said this before, when I first wake up, I'm really inclined to do reads and help and reach out to people because I have the energy and the foresight to do that. I love to make jewelry late at night. I feel like I'm in no rush. I don't have to pay attention to anything, help anybody out, or I no longer feel pushed. It's a calmer energy. So it's a great development time for me to write down and get ideas as well. So be open to discovery about your cycles. When are you your most strongest physically? You can exercise them. When are you most strongest mentally? You can create your phone calls, do whatever you need to do during that. Go to DMV because you need all the strength you can get. I had a great conversation with a lady at my place where I deliver and send packages the other day, talking about how she gets heart palpitations and stressed out about going to the post office. And again, that's a triggered and learned response, right? You go there around Christmas, people tend to really lash out in post offices because I know my local one, they also do passports and things like that. So when there's any kind of wrench in their flow, people get upset and they get impatient, and that's contagious, right? So I avoid a certain post office too at times if I feel like my stress levels are high. It's like when I don't go to the DMV after a funeral or something, you know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense. We do not compile and go beyond our bandwidth. We just don't do that. And it's funny that was the first thing that I'm so fortunate, that I have a lot of hearty family members that I don't have to hardly ever attend any funerals, thank goodness. And I was just thinking of this today when it comes to being open to discovery. I now want to create such flexibility and breadth and width within my day that if I receive really heart-wrenching news or something, I will have the bandwidth and the strength to help that person that's calling me, that's in need, that needs my attention. And for myself too, like, I could have let myself kind of like spin out of control when my screens weren't coming up and stuff wasn't working. And I think in days of old, I would have just trashed the whole thing and said, I'm not doing this, forget about it, and got all emotional and got like, the whole technical world is against me, and got all dramatic. And now I'm just like, it is what it is, do the best you have. And it kind of just evolved into working out for the best. So I was really, really excited. So this is part of it. Ears wide open. Now, oftentimes we are busy trying to not so much jump to conclusions, but try to evaluate somebody's saying that we stop listening to them. So let's have our ears completely wide open to not only what's being said, but what's not being said, to micro expressions on people's faces, family members. Are people having anxiety? And if they are, how can we reduce that? That means we don't compile, we don't speak negatively about anything that compounds that. We alleviate that with light, bright, happy music, thoughts, words, whatever we can do, right? And we can do that for ourselves. And I feel like this is too, let's have our ears wide open to what will be conducive for us to feel our lightest, brightest flow state self, right? For me, oh my gosh, listening to water, listening to waves. A beautiful thing came up this morning that just had crystals on the screen, and they looked like they were underwater, and it was beautiful, like fluid flowing music, and it was dreamy and soft and wonderful. And I felt like just ensconced in a beautiful like fairy world. It was peaceful and restful, and that's part of it. What are we putting into our ears? I'm very sensitive to sound. So when beautiful sounds are around me, I feel restful, I feel at ease, I feel good. So let's do that as well. So I just wanted to come on, you guys, and do your daily pop because I'm going out and I had some cosmetiques on my face and I was ready to roll. And I'm really excited to go garner some new ideas and explore the day and then see what I can bring to you tomorrow as well. So love and light. Have a great day.